We continue our fall 2021 St. Edward's University preseason interviews as we turn our sights toward the cross-country course, joined by fourth-year head coach Ryan Ponsonby. Coach, great to see you.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here. Great to be back. Happy that the fall semester has started and we got our team back.
Absolutely. Your team is on the hilltop. You've been training for a few weeks now. You're getting ready. The season opener, September the 4th, Saturday, the Orville Rogers cross country opener up in Grand Prairie. Before we talk about that, before we talk about what you have coming up this season, let's look back a little, if you would, to 2020. And obviously a very difficult year for a lot of reasons. That being said, there was still history made on your side. The women, their best ever finish in the conference championships, and they come in this year as a preseason number 3. I'm sure you have to be incredibly pleased with what you saw last year.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about overcoming adversity when you go into the conference meet, not, without any racing for the season and, uncertainty for a very young group. First time to compete at a conference championship, first time to compete in a 6K, first time to compete collegiately for a lot of them. They stepped up and they really answered the call. And, we talked about them running as a group in the conference meet last year and being in the top 30, and our top 5 did that. And, we had Caitlin Stark, our captain, senior captain. She finished with all conference honors. And we also had Ellie finish as freshman of the year in the conference. So I couldn't have asked for better. I was so pleased, so happy with their effort, and really just going out and doing what they were capable of doing on that day.
Coach, your athletes not just doing it out there on the course, they're doing it in the classroom as well. You mentioned Caitlin Stark, your senior captain. She was one of 2 SEU athletes, along with men's basketball player Ryan Garza, and they were Lone Star Conference scholar athletes. I know you have to be incredibly proud of her.
So proud of her. She's now in med school, pursuing her academic dreams and her dream of becoming a doctor. She did it all for us. Very happy with her.
Well, turning our sights to this coming year, this is your 4th year, and everyone says kind of the big jump comes between year 1 and year 2. You've got your feet underneath you, and then year 3 happens, just throws a wrench in everything for you. I mean, how is that dealing with as a coach?
It's challenging, but it's something that we talk about all the time. It's, controlling the controllables, dealing with adversity, and, really thanking our lucky stars that we have the opportunities now to practice and to compete this fall and making the most of it. I mean, just being present in the moment. It's really, really important. But having said that, I do think that we learned a lot from last year. I know there's some things that I changed just in my own programming of training and things like that I feel like really benefited the team. And so I'm applying some of that to this season and to this group. So, I think it was a lot to overcome, but there's also positive takeaways.
Coach, would you mind sharing with us a few of those things that you've changed?
Yeah, definitely. So, in terms of the quality sessions and the workouts, I've really scaled back on intensity and really focused on more volume, especially early on. Last year we couldn't compete, so we took away some of those hard efforts early on. And I've really adapted the training in that way. So not as many early season hard efforts. I think also just from a logistical standpoint, meeting with the group in waves has really helped me focus on the teams individually and spending more time with them versus having them all come out at once. So we were limited last year to, at one time, groups smaller than 10. And so we're not quite doing that, but we have scaled back in instances there. So there's a lot of takeaways, actually.
Coach, you mentioned that season opener coming up just around the corner, Saturday, September the 4th, up in Grand Prairie, the Orville Rogers cross country opener. How good was it for you to see your entire team on campus when they showed up a few weeks ago?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's why we're here as coaches, right? And we want to work with them. I want to work with my athletes. I want to be there in person with them. I want to, have in-person conversations because that's where I feel like I thrive as a coach. And so to have that opportunity and to have a really, really strong new class with both incoming freshmen and transfers and graduate students, I'm thrilled. I mean, this is year 4. So this is kind of the fruits of our labor coming in. We've got a solid group right now, very talented. I'm super excited for them and their potential this season.
Speaking with Ryan Ponsonby, Hilltoppers cross country head coach. Looking at this upcoming season, you mentioned a lot of new faces, freshmen, transfers, a big season coming up. Before we get to this season, you have a new face on your coaching staff as well.
Yeah. So Coach Brooke Crowley, she just started with us a couple of weeks ago. We're thrilled to have her. She's going to oversee more of the expansion of our track and field program with an emphasis on 400 meters and down. So it's really exciting for us to, this past season was our first official outdoor season where we actually had a championship. So to really expand beyond distance and middle distance is exciting for us.
Coach, you mentioned a young team, transfers, a lot of incoming freshmen. What are your goals for this upcoming season?
I think with that, it's really not getting ahead of ourselves in terms of ambitions and goals. I think there's so many firsts for this group because we have a lot of new faces on campus. So as long as we're doing what we're capable of doing on a daily basis and not putting ourselves in a situation and come competition where our aspirations are maybe too high, as long as we do what we're capable of doing, I think that would be a success. The team right now is every day doing exactly what I ask of them. And that process, as long as that continues, that's all I can ask for. And the races will take care of themselves.
Coach, final question. And again, we very much appreciate your time. After a difficult last year, what are you most excited for about this upcoming season?
Oh, I think just having a full season. We're opening up next week, and we'll have 6 or possibly more competitions this fall, and we'll have equal to more than that this spring. So that to me is what's most exciting, because that is a part of the process. And when we talk about working with young athletes and developing athletes, seeing them develop and gain experience in competition is really what it's all about. And so for me, it's really that process and being able to have that full process for development.
Coach, I know you're incredibly excited about this season. We are as well. Sky is the limit for this young team, and very much appreciate your time. Again, the Hilltoppers, they open things up Saturday, September the 4th, at Orville Rogers cross country opener up in Grand Prairie. You can find that full schedule. Go hilltoppers.com. Coach, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to checking in with you throughout the season.
Thanks, Kit. I really appreciate your time too. Toppers up.
Toppers up.